Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Times are wasting. We got some fun stuff to go over today. Say, hey, there we go, right? We'll bring some energy in here. It is hot. It is hot. It's on. We're on fuego. We're in fuego. All right, guys. How do we start these things off?
Like church, everyone's in the back.
There you go, right? How about that?
I love that we're all engaged. 1, 2, 3. I love it. All right. Cool. Guys, how do we get these things started? Affirmations. I love it, guys. So, those of you who have been through both with us, give me one affirmation that really strikes a chord with you guys. Well, I know it's all cruddy up, but we're bringing the energy in here. We're gonna have some excitement.
Our cells eavesdrop on our thoughts.
Yeah. So our cells eavesdrop on our thoughts. I love that one. So tell me a little bit more about that worldwide. Our cells eavesdrop on our thoughts.
Your brain is a powerful thing. It can affect out there and it can affect here.
The way I see that is, thoughts are things, and that's the first thing that happens before something's actually manifested, right? All right, so to go ahead and drive this one home, we're going to say on 3, our cells eavesdrop on our thoughts. 1, 2, 3. Our cells eavesdrop on our thoughts. All right, we're getting there. We're getting the energy. All right. What's one more? What's one more affirmation? Give me one that we've already used in the past. One more. Outside voice. Awesome. Be, do, have. I love it. So what does that mean to you? Sure.
What it means to me is you want to be the person you want to be, but you got to do certain things to get that done, and then know they what you want.
Yeah, okay, so basically we've got to be internally that person, the mindset, then we've actually got to do it, there's got to be action, and then that then leads to the result.
Right.
I love it, Liz, I love it. All right, so on 3, be, do, have. 1, 2, 3. Be, do, have. I like it. Now Nick's even getting into the game, I like it. All right, now I know where we're going, I know where we're going. All right, guys, what's the next segment we typically talk about? Some of the successes. So tell me what's working out there, guys. What's working? I mean, this is the end of the year, guys. I mean, it's just, this is when, people aren't working, right? So there's no real estate happening out there. Can we debunk that a little bit? Tell me what's happening. What's working in your guys' world?
Open house.
Whoa.
Had 2 people in an open house. They didn't buy the open, but they did buy something else.
Really? All right, first of all, what's the last thing? I think that's cool. So, open houses are working.
Yeah.
Is that a novel idea? Has anybody ever heard of open house before?
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I kind of think it's kind of be, do, have. I mean, you're being, you're doing, and you're getting the results, right? Gosh, that's cool. I love it.
I was a little dismayed at the number of people who walked in, but they were both good, hot buyers, ready to go.
Okay, I love it. So maybe it wasn't the quantity, but there was quality there.
That's right.
That's pretty cool stuff. I love that. All right.
Same thing as Lori. I did an open house yesterday. I had one person through, and I tried to do the open house pro, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. But I got all their info, and we're looking Thursday. I got everything.
Hold on, guys. Are you hearing this? So we got one active buyer here. We got 2 active buyers over there from open houses. Would it maybe a good idea to do an open house? You think? Right.
I had to.
Love it. Love it. I mean, is there any kind of scripting, any dialogue you guys are using to engage these individuals a little bit more, Keith?
I just tell them I'm going to stay out of your way, take a look through the house. When they circle back around, I usually sit in the dining room because they seem to come either to the kitchen or the dining room, kind of like what Cassie was talking about.
Right.
And I just sit there with my laptop and just start talking to them. Where are you from? Where are you? And just start talking about stuff. And they start asking questions, and then 45 minutes later, I got all their stuff.
I heard there was going to be a room full of millionaire real estate agents. I thought I'd stop by. I've been watching them all year, and they're doing a great job. And next year, I'm going to watch even closer and see how many more millionaire real estate agents that Keller Williams can make. Okay? So Merry Christmas from Santa and his wife, and a couple of lazy reindeers. I'll let you guys get back to your meeting. Let me pass out a couple, if I could ever find the bag here, a hole in the bag. Oh, there it is.
I never got that bike.
Couple more deals and you
That was
got it.
bad.
You were bad.
Couple more deals and you got it, bud.
See, that's some accountability too, right?
Thank you, Santa.
Pass a couple of them back there for you.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Let me try to hurry up and speed this up. There you go.
That is awesome.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
So guys,
Good. Couple there. You got 4 there, 1 short. Sorry.
Somebody's not been real good, Sam.
Tough times this year.
It's the fiscal cliff.
Anybody back there?
Got him up there.
Sure.
I got them going out this year.
Everybody's squirreled now.
Got them going out. Lots of them going out. Everybody got one?
Big old squirrel.
You do?
Upstaged by Santa.
Happens every time. Every time.
all of our successes
We tried that in the summertime, we all ignored it.
Yeah, he come walking in.
There we go. There we go. Hey guys, what happened on Saturday? Did you guys get married? Maybe.
Funny.
Woo! How cool is that, right? Yeah, let's give a big applause. Her father was kind enough to actually acknowledge the organization and what it's meant to Bonnie at the reception. I just thought that was super cool and a testament to all of you guys. That's some pretty fun stuff. So very, very cool stuff. And yeah, that's pretty fun. So it's not all about selling real estate, is it? Maybe that's what fuels our big life, right? Cool. Well, anything anybody compelled to share as far as some of the fun successes that are out there? No? This is where the modesty's kicking in? All right.
My business plan for next year.
So you got it done. I like that. Yeah, there we go. I think you're gonna be able to get some clarity with that too today. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to share, we've everybody knows we kind of chipped in and started doing this Homes for Heroes thing in a pretty big way this year. And one of the things that we had no idea we were doing was, one of the guys that's, his name's Steven, he lives in Cottleville and he does a lot of business. He's an IT guy and he does a lot of help for the community and the Chamber of Commerce and the city of Cottleville, makes websites and things like that. Long story short, he came to the 2 fundraisers we had out here, and in conversation with him, he's helping us with some website stuff. He lets us know that, he said that we inspired him to do a fundraiser because of the success that we had with our fundraisers for this family whose house burned about a month ago here in Cottleville. And so he held a fundraiser on Saturday at the chocolate bar up here. And we helped him with that because we have the foundation now, so we can run money through it. It doesn't get taxed and it's easy in, easy out, piece of cake. So with all that, it's a win for the chocolate bar. They get a whole lot more business than they would normally get. It's a win for the family who gets all that. It's a win for Steven who gets his name out there. His boss was there taking pictures with Santa. It's a win for us. Our name is out there. It was a win for Jerry Nevin, Mr. Fix-It, one of our vendors, who ended up getting a side job off of the deal. He volunteered to play music there. So we volunteered to do this. We get a listing and a sale out of the deal. Steven gets more website stuff. The musician gets Mr. Fix-It stuff. And it was a
And he gets to
win-win-win.
play on the mayor's float.
Oh yeah, the mayor screams from across the crowd. Hey, what are you doing on St. Patrick's Day? You want to be on my float? Yeah, as long as I can take my groupies. So, yeah, it was a really cool thing. And I'm sorry. What?
You're gonna be late, Kelly's week.
Oh, so that's the hook, and tells me I'm done. So. I said that's the hook that tells me I'm done.
The floor dropped out.
Congratulations.
First of all, yeah, that's cool. That is cool. You know what? I really appreciate you sharing that because that's really big. That's really important to me. And you know what? what are some of your ahas about what Jeff just shared? Because there's a couple things that I think are really cool about it. So what's an aha there?
How all those chains of networking went from one to one to one, it was amazing.
Right. That is pretty cool. Another aha that I had, sometimes the impact that we have, it might not just be measurable in a bank account. That's pretty cool stuff. Man, I think this is really important. I thought it was one of the coolest things that I've heard over the weekend. There's something else that happened too
What?
on Saturday, which was for Tots.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Can you
Yeah.
share-
While we were over there.
Ed a little bit about that.
Ed needs to be the one that shares. Is Ed in the room? We should have Ed share that. I'd appreciate that.
Okay, all right.
I really
tell you
would.
what,
I'll text him.
Yeah.
We'll put that on pause until we have a chance to have Ed do it.
You got a phone?
Some really cool stuff's happening.
Yeah, so my office.
Yeah, I'd prefer that he gets to share that, to
I
be
like
honest with you.
it. That's cool, man. I like that. So while we're waiting with that there, what's another one we do? News you can.
News.
Keller Williams.
News you can use, right? All right, so guys, you guys have this language of real estate, correct? You got that? No, sir. You didn't get it on the packet? Oh, it's on the back of the calendar.
The answer is yes.
We have more printouts too?
We need more.
For those of you that have them, what are some of the pieces on there? First of all, we made it a little bit different this month. We took away all of the ridiculous numbers there that may or may not be.
Yay.
Yeah, you high Cs are probably not excited about that. The rest of us are very excited to see. Yes. Basically, it just boils it down to what the brass tacks is. So what are some of the things that you're seeing here? What's an aha you got just from looking at some of this stuff?
Wow. You're really up.
We're jamming, man. This is pretty cool stuff, guys. This is really cool stuff. Hey, will you write something else on here that we can't compare it to the board because there isn't a measurable statistic for it on the board, but contracts written is something that we look at too. And so write this on there because I'm really impressed with you guys. And this is leading to a couple team meetings ago. We were looking at, in November and December, does business just fall off or do activities, maybe that's what it is, maybe our activities fall off. And right now I'm seeing some pretty cool stuff because last year in November there were 50 contracts written in the market center. This year there were 100.
Wow.
Exactly 50 and exactly 100
Really? That in when?
in November.
Wow.
So that's 100% improvement over last year at this time. What's kind of cool about this,
It's 3 a day.
3 a day, that's pretty cool stuff. And you're seeing all of the numbers show up here as far as closer. To me, guys, that's my favorite one because that's when you guys get paid, right? And we're outperforming the board 43%. The board up is up, by the way, 18%. So what does that mean?
Business is up.
Business is up, okay? So here's an aha I'd be having, guys. If my business isn't up 18%, whoa, right? So now you've got a benchmark there, right? So the agents that are out there saying, yeah, I feel like business, yeah, it is up because the market's up, right? Now, are you outperforming the market, right? So I'm proud to say that you guys are by 43% there. In every measurable category, you guys are outperforming the board.
Unfair share.
Unfair share, very cool stuff, guys. This is the activities that you guys are doing. Now I gotta ask you, how in the world how can you use this stuff? First, before I even say that, is this stuff important to know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, it is critical. This is how you position, I'd write this one down. This is how you position yourself as the local real estate economist of choice. Local real estate economist of choice. Are you seeing this in the Channel 5 News? Not big on Channel 5, 4, 2, any of 11, right? National or local, right? I mean, are these important things that our clients need to know, right? So I want to know one specific way that I can impact my client, my prospects, my sphere of influence. What's one thing that I can do now knowing this information?
Share it.
That's not. All right, Kelly, I'm slow though, I'm slow. What do you mean?
If everybody took a picture of that right now and posted it on their Facebook page, what kind of business, it'd be interesting to see, like, if you guys, I don't know if there's like a group email that you can send out and see how many people respond to that. You will be shocked.
Just did it.
There you go. Dan Piper on my team did it, and he picked up a sale, like, just like that. Hey, we're moving after the first of the year. I can't believe you're up so much, something to that effect, and we're using you guys. So, I mean, that's important.
So, no way.
Share the good news.
Yeah, you guys are all, you know, on the phones. I know it's hard to keep away from them, so by 12 o'clock, throw it on Facebook, right? And then, you know, shoot out an email to your client database. I mean, this is important stuff to know. And empower them with the information and let them do what's right for themselves. They're gonna come to the conclusion of whether or not they wanna buy or sell. It's your responsibility to educate them, okay?
I called to schedule a showing, and it was one of the CBG offices, and she said, wow, you Keller Williams people sure are busy this weekend.
That's the best compliment you guys can get.
That is awesome. Wow.
That is cool. That is cool stuff, right?
Did you get her name and number to follow with?
Downline.
Keller,
Yeah.
Keller who?
Lindsay, what was that name again?
WHO.
All right, guys, and thank you so much for taking a moment away, actually, before we wrap that up. So guys, put that into play. I want to celebrate with you. Please tell me how you're using these numbers. I want to go ahead and find out the best way that we can impact our community, okay? So please let me know. And thanks for peeling away a couple of moments. I was really inspired what happened Saturday with the Toys for Tots. And can you tell us exactly what happened there?
Yeah, it was kind of a God thing, really. I took off Tuesday last week and needed to make up hours, so I had to work Saturday. And I was really griping and complaining about it to myself because I really wanted my Saturday off. And I had actually done other work all day Tuesday. So I'm sitting in the office and about, I don't know, it was about 9:30 or so. My phone rings, and since Pam's out of town, I thought I better answer it. And because I didn't recognize the number. She said, yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of Keller Williams Realty in Cottleton. And I said, okay. And she said, and I called a number and they said that they were on vacation and I needed to call this number. And I'm like, well, how can I help you? I thought, this is really weird, you know? I said, well, how can I help you? She goes, my husband owns the staffing company at the building at the end of yours, and we had a Christmas party last night. And the requirement was to bring toys to the Christmas party. And then we heard, while we were at the party, that Toys for Tots was way down. My husband mentioned that you guys are a collection point for Toys for Tots, so we want to bring the toys. And I'm sitting here thinking, what are the chances someone's going to be here on Saturday? And while I'm thinking this, she said, and it's important we bring them today because the kids spent the night home. They want to bring the toys, and it's important that they see it. And I thought, man, I'm sitting right by the back door, pull around back.
Yeah.
I'll be here. And then I thought, well, this is really Jeff's gig. So, you know, but he lives in Wentzville. He's not going to be able to get here in like 10 minutes. But I thought, well, you know what? I'll call him anyway. And he's over at the chocolate bar.
chocolate martinis are good.
So, you know, it was more than just a serendipitous thing. It was supposed to happen. So the kids come, they got a big black trash bag and a whole another trash bag full of
They're
stuff. They
downstairs,
fill the
you can
box.
see 'em
And
there.
I know it's overflowing. It was just beautiful. And we had just been talking Friday night about how the box was a little empty. It was a little bare, you know. But I just really felt like it was a total, you know, God thing that I would take off Tuesday and be here and somebody would get my number to call my cell phone. You know, what are the chances of that? So it was really cool, and especially after what happened Friday, to see all those little kids.
Yeah,
It's really,
we got a
really
picture, I'll
special.
put it up on Facebook.
That's
And then we
great.
took them all over to meet Santa afterwards.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It was fun.
That's too cool.
And then the parents donated over there because it was like, I don't know, how much was it for
15 for a picture.
$5 or whatever per picture with Santa that you donated, you know, to the family
right.
that got
It was
burned
awesome.
out, so.
Very good.
Thanks,
Really
Ed.
appreciate it. So it was
Yeah,
really-
Yeah, and then, you know, giving really is about receiving, right? I mean, I feel like, you know, we've just been given, a huge emotional deposit in our bank accounts, by these kids at that game. So I think that's a pretty cool piece. And it's an opportunity for us to pay that forward, right? So I think that's a cool thing. In some of those events, I do, this time of year, I always do want to go ahead and remind you one quick way, while you're at some of those events, those family gatherings and that sort of thing, what's a question that commonly comes up for you guys since you guys are in the real
How's
estate
the
world?
market?
How's the market? And how do we respond to that?
It's great. Why do you ask?
Are you buying or selling?
There you go.
That, hold on, I think maybe the only person that's not licensed in the room actually got that. Hold on. No, can you repeat that real quick?
Are you buying or selling?
Great question. Why do you ask? Are you looking to buy or are you looking to sell? I'm always writing that down, by the way. Great question. Why do you ask? Are you looking to buy or are you looking to sell? I'm gonna guesstimate that we've got about 30 agents that are in the room right now, and if each one of you guys remember that when you are asked that question, I will guarantee there will be multiple pieces of business that will come from that simple script. Right? Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about today's event. We've got some incredible stuff for you here. I told you that we have 2 icons today, and we certainly do. We're going to deliver. Unfortunately, John did call. John Max was not able to make it here personally today, but there was a cool segment that kind of sets the table for what Kelly's going to share with us about some of the strategic planning for 2013. And other than Brent, the rest of us might be putting those final touches on our business plan for this upcoming year. And I think that there's going to be some tremendous pearls of wisdom that you're going to get from Kelly here. Jackie, can we kind of get the tape rolling here with John Maxwell? Get the video going?
Yeah.
Some of these laws I do better on than others. There are some laws that I excel more than others. I want to just say that probably the 21 laws, this is my best one. I really do understand the law priorities. And so let me give you a little bit of background. I'm working on a business degree in Indiana. Back in 1971, 72, in college. And I read in a textbook about the Pareto principle. A guy named Alfredo Pareto. It was the first time that I ever was introduced to what is known sometimes as the 80-20 principle. The first time that I've ever was introduced to it, and basically Pareto taught in that one paragraph in that book about priorities. And I remember reading that paragraph and saying to myself, this is very important to me. I need to learn priorities the way Pareto taught them. And so I became a student of Pareto, I became a student of priorities, and that was, my goodness, that was well over 30 years ago. And I can tell you that when people look at what little things that I've been able to accomplish, and they come and say, how can you accomplish so much? I can always tell them with great integrity, this law right here, the law of priorities, I have worked on and I have excelled in. So let's look at your notes, because this is a terrific law to teach. I've already got a diagram for you, so let's just look at the diagram for a second. On the left-hand column is priorities. And by the way, since I'm doing some teaching on this, I want you to put a slice there, and I want you to also put the word people. Because I'm going to teach you priorities, but I'm also going to teach you how to prioritize your people in about 5 minutes. So, but for now, the left-hand column is priorities, and the right-hand column is production, and it pretty well explains itself. Here's what Pareto says. Pareto says that if you have 10 things to do, and you prioritize those 10 things correctly, if you only do 2 of them, but you do the top 2, you're going to get an 80% return on everything you need in your life. It's very obvious. You do 2 things, you go to the production side, 80% return. That's you. Pareto goes on and says, let's say instead of doing the top 2 things, you do the bottom 8. You ignore the top 2. The most important things you ignore. And you do the bottom 8. Here's what Pareto says. If you do the bottom 8, if you go to the production side, you can see you're only going to have a 20% return. That's why it's sometimes called the 80-20 principle or the 20-80 principle. It's really talking about how to prioritize your life. And Pareto says if you prioritize your life correctly, if you do just the 2 things out of 10 that you need to do, the most important 2, 80% of everything you want in your business, I can tell you this works in your family. If you prioritize your family time right, 80% of everything you need in your family is going to happen if you understand how to work the top 20%. What I have found is most people don't understand the 20-80 principle, and so therefore they don't put the time, energy, and effort in the top 20%, so therefore they don't get the return. Now, this is a great principle, but there are 3 questions, priority questions, that you need to ask yourself, that I need to ask myself, that helps me to establish this top 20%. Question number 1, requirement. I've got to ask myself, what is required of me? In other words, I've got to look at my job, I've got to look at my company, my organization, the one that I work for. There are certain job descriptions, there are certain requirements of the job, and I got to basically say, okay, what do I have to do? Because whatever I have to do, I have to do it. If I don't do those, I'm fired. So it's got to be a priority, true? So I got to ask what's required of me. The second word is return. I've got to look at all the things I do, and I have to ask myself this question, what gives me the greatest return? The third word is reward. I have to ask myself the question, what gives me the greatest reward? Now, those 3 questions I have found to be huge in understanding the 20-80 principle. But Alfredo Pareto says that if you prioritize your life correctly and you do the top 20%, you get an 80% return. And in that top 20%, I have to have those 3 R's. What's required of me? What gives me the highest return? What gives me the greatest reward? See, I've got to ask the requirement question because if I don't do that, well, then I'm out of the job. I've got to ask the return job question because if I don't do that well, I'm not going to produce. And I've got to ask the reward job because if I don't like what I'm doing and I continue to do it, it's only a matter of time until I'm do it. Requirement, return, reward. Let me illustrate. I only have 4 things that I have to do. In fact, when I tell people I only have 4 priorities, they look at me, they just kind of look at me and think, what do you mean you only do 4 things? What I mean is I only do 4 things. They said, well, no, I mean, don't you do other things? No, read my thing. Now, the reason I only do 4 things, there's a lot of reasons. One is I understand priorities. Number 2 is I'm kind of worthless in most things in life. It's just a gift, so it's not good. It's worthless I am. But the 4 things I do very well. And my whole team understands this. And they do everything around me so that I can stay focused on these 4 areas, because these 4 areas bring a huge return to me and to my companies that I have. So let me give you the 4 things. I'm only giving you these 4, not because these are going to be your 4, because they're not going to be. But you're going to have to go through the process, which literally took me months to go through, until you can settle in what your strengths are, what you need to be spending your time with. My 4 priorities, very simple. Number 1 is leadership. I lead well, so I spend a lot of time leading. It's a gift, and I know it. Number 2 is communication. I do it almost every day. I speak places, I lecture, I teach. I do a lot of communication. Why? Because it's a strength. The third is create or /write. I spend a lot of time creative thinking, I spend a lot of time in writing. Again, why? Because it's a strength of mine. I love to write books so that I can add value to people that I'll probably never meet. And the 4th area is in networking or relationships. Now, those are the 4 things I do. I either lead, communicate, create, or relate with other people. Those are the 4 things. I don't do anything else. You say, John, why don't you do anything else? Because I'm not any good at anything else. You've got to play to your strengths, not to your weaknesses. It's very important for you to understand. Listen to me carefully. People don't pay for average. They haven't paid for average in your life. They're not going to pay for average in my life. People don't pay for average. So quit trying to be average. Find out what you do well. Stay to your strengths, because that's the ace. That's what's going to bring you home. Now, these 4 areas, these are the 4 areas I stay in. I don't do anything else. Now, I have to have a lot of things done, so I have players around me that they complete me, and they do things for me that are huge on the team, that are vitally important. Now, I'm not saying these are the only 4 important things. I'm just saying, for me, these are the 4 things that I do, and these are my 4 top priorities. These give me the greatest return. These give me the greatest reward. You see, what Pareto is teaching you and me are the following lessons. He's teaching us, first of all, it's not how hard you work, it's how smart you work. He's teaching us that it's not how much time you put in the job, it's how you prioritize the job to be effective in it. He's teaching us things such as organize or agonize. In other words, get your act together, get organized, or you're going to always be behind the 8 ball and you're going to be agonizing because you're trying to always catch up. He's saying things such as choose or lose. Either you choose your priorities or you'll lose your priorities to somebody else that will choose them for you. The question is not will your calendar be full, the question is who will fill your calendar. He's saying things like evaluate or stalemate. Evaluate your priorities on a consistent basis, or if you don't, you're going to plateau, you're going to stalemate before long. Now, before I